If there exists in the human heart a single timeless echo of limitless compassion, an image that can dissolve the boundaries of time, gender, and culture, it is the silhouette of Guan Yin. In the ancient world, this great spirit was first known as Avalokiteshvara, a name that is not a title, but a sacred action. The one who perceives the cries of the world. They were not a god born of celestial power, but something far more profound, a Bodhisattva, an enlightened soul who had journeyed through countless lifetimes, purifying the mind and spirit, until they stood on the very edge of ultimate peace, the final, blissful release from all striving and all suffering. Imagine that moment, a silence deeper than space and a light brighter than a billion suns, a peace that promises the end of all burdens. The final step was all that remained, but in that ultimate moment, and as the gates of serenity opened, they paused. They chose to look back, and what they saw stopped the heart of the cosmos. They saw a vast, shoreless ocean of pain. They saw the fires of anger burning in the hearts of warriors and kings, the gnawing emptiness of hungry ghosts, forever craving what they could not have, the blind confusion of beings lost in ignorance. They saw the quiet desperation in the eyes of a lonely child, the weary shoulders of a farmer facing a barren field, the terror of a creature fleeing a predator. They saw every single tear shed since the beginning of time, and they realized that their own private peace would be a lonely one, so long as this suffering remained. Witnessing this, they made a vow, a promise so great it resonated through the fabric of reality itself, a vow that would forever define their existence. They turned away from the gates of their own salvation and spoke into the heart of the world. I swear, I will never accept this final peace for myself, not until all living things, every last soul from the highest celestial being to the smallest insect crawling in the dust, have been liberated from their sufferings. I will remain in this world of tears and struggle. My own enlightenment will not be complete until all are enlightened. In that moment, they relinquished personal bliss to remain forever in the vortex of anguish, bound not by fate or karma, but by a love so absolute, it defies understanding. The weight of such a vow was unimaginable. Eons passed like single heartbeats as the Bodhisattva labored. They descended into the darkest hells to bring a moment of coolness and ascended to warring heavens to preach a word of peace. Yet for every being they saved, it seemed 1,000 more would fall into despair. The world's pain was not a river that could be emptied. It was an infinite ocean. Finally, the sheer, unbearable weight of this empathy became too much. A single mind trying to hold every sorrow, a single heart trying to feel every pain, could not endure. Their heart, breaking from a love too vast to be contained, shattered, and in their despair, their very form exploded into 1,000 pieces of radiant light. But a vow so pure cannot be destroyed. The eternal compassion of the universe itself, drawn to this ultimate sacrifice, gathered the luminous fragments. It did not simply repair the old form, it forged a new one, born from the very needs of the vow. 1,000 arms grew forth, a forest of helping hands, one for every soul that cried out in the darkness. In the palm of each hand, an eye of wisdom opened, one that saw not just the suffering, but the unique story and the hidden cause behind it. 11 faces blossomed to perceive the cries from every direction of the universe at once. This new being was not just a symbol. It was the vow made manifest. In their hands, compassion took form. A simple vase appeared, forever pouring a sweet dew, a nectar of grace to wash away the sorrows. Their touch became as gentle and as flexible as a willow branch. And they did all this while resting on a single lotus blossom, a timeless promise that even from the depths of suffering, purity can arise, completely unstained. And as this compassionate force spread across the lands of the East, humanity gave it a new name, a name spoken not in awe of a distant deity, but with the love for a constant presence, Guan Yin. Her story teaches us that compassion is not a passive feeling. It is skillful, active, and relentless. She is known to appear in any form necessary to answer a call for help. To a sailor lost in a storm, she is the calm light of a lighthouse. To a scholar wrestling with doubt, she is the sudden insight. To the abandoned, she is the unexpected kindness of a stranger. Her forms are infinite because the forms of suffering are infinite. Her great vow is not a myth buried in the past. It is a living question asked of us in the quiet moments of our own lives. When we hear the cry of another, do we turn away towards the comfort of our own private peace? Or do we choose to listen? The deepest teaching of Guan Yin is this: she is not an external goddess to be worshipped. She is an internal reality sent to be awakened. When you extend a hand without expecting anything in return, when you listen with your heart instead of your ears, when you choose empathy over apathy, in that very moment, one of her 1,000 hands becomes your own. Her story is a reminder that as long as a single heart on this earth feels pain, her vow remains potent and alive. And as long as we have the courage to open our own hearts, we will find her. She is not in the sky above, but in the echo of compassion within. This is the journey of discovering that boundless love, a pursuit worthy of a lifetime.